What's up, guys? This is Big Drew, and this is Titan Lifestyle. I'm back every Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm here. I talk about Titan events. I do Q&A, therapy of the week, and also I bring up some Titan events that we have going on. I know we have a couple bodybuilding shows coming up real soon, so I'll get into those a little bit later. First off, I want to give some shout-outs. See my boy Stapes on here. Shout out to Curtis. Shout out to, Garber? Shout out to Diesel. A lot of people joining in right now. I'm going to give everybody a second just to get on. But get your questions ready. That's my favorite part of the show, is to answer questions, whether it's health, fitness related. We got United Fit Model just joined as well. Shout out to that. But yeah, just get your questions ready. Ask me questions. I'm here every week. So all week long, my DMs are full. Every time I go into the gym, when I go place, people ask me questions. Sometimes I'm busy. Sometimes I have time. Sometimes I don't. But if I'm in the gym and you see me in the gym and I'm training or I'm with a client or whatever, if I'm busy, save your questions and ask them now. That way you could get your answers. And not only that, you can go back and watch the show again or listen to the podcast if you forget anything. So that way you can, get your answers. But yes, this is it. I'm here. John's out today. Want to give him a quick shout out. I know he had some dentist stuff going on, so I hope he's feeling well. Hope Sharice is well. Little Peter, Big Peter, Sita, the whole crew. We got Renee just joined as well, so shout out to Renee as well. Let me see. Going over my topic today. I'll get into that in just a little bit. We got Every Day is Friday on. We got Olive. We got Marcelin. We got Carfac, we got Cry, we got Ashley. A lot of people are joining on and just jumped on. People coming in by the bunches now. So guys, girls, get your questions ready. Let's jump into therapy of the week. Every week here at Titan Medical, we highlight one of our therapies that we have here, and we give you guys a discount. So every week you get a discount. Some places don't give discounts except for holidays. We give the discounts on holidays too. But every week, if you tune in, a therapy of the week, we'll tell you what the special is, what it does, and how much you're actually going to save. So this week, this therapy of the week is the Titan Trifecta. Titan Trifecta is trifecta, meaning three. So it's three different therapies what you're getting with this therapy, with this special. ECA Stack Plus, Hercules Potion, and also Titan Complete. Now, ECA Stack Plus, that is basically, it's a fat burner, but it's also going to give you great energy, sustained, clean energy, and it also helps with mental focus. ECA is an acronym for ephedra, caffeine, and aspirin. The plus, we add some B12 and also choline in there as well. So that's the ECA. Great for energy, great for take pre-workout. It's what I like, pre-workout. It's better than a lot of these pre-workout powders because, again, you're just getting clean caffeine, ephedrine, and aspirin. The ephedrine is the fat burner, the caffeine is the energy, and the aspirin is like a blood thinner. Helps lower your blood pressure and will also give you a better pump. Next one in the Titan Trifecta is Hercules Potion. Hercules Potion is probably, in terms of bodybuilding, one of our most popular therapies that we have. It's an amino blend. So you're getting your citrulline, your arginine, your all that stuff, but it's in an amino blend. So you're getting an injectable form. It's basically like injectable BCAAs. Now, the difference with these when BCAAs is obviously you're getting quality pharmaceutical grade aminos. You don't have all the additives. You don't have the chemicals. You don't have the dyes. You don't have the sweeteners. You don't have the fillers. It's just pure BCAAs, pure aminos straight into the muscle. Hercules Potion is intramuscular injection, and you would inject that muscle before you work out. So it's basically like taking your BCAA powders, pharmaceutical grade in an injectable form from a pharmacy, prescribed by a doctor, that you inject into the muscle directly before you train. Now, this isn't a spot inject thing. I always say, people say, oh, that's like those guys I see online that inject their muscles and they look like all cartoonish. No, this is not increasing your muscle growth. It's going to increase your muscle to grow, but it's not site enhancement. In other words, you're not going to put it in there and just fill up the muscle with water and oil. It's actually stimulating the anabolic process to build muscle within the muscle. So again, you're not going to have to worry about losing vascularity. It's water-based, so you don't have to worry about, lumps or injection pain. And again, you would use like a 1/2-inch 30-gauge insulin needle. And it's basically like a small prick, and you literally get an extreme pump. Now, what's good with Hercules Potion I know a lot of people take pre-workouts. They take a whole bunch of these scoops of powder before they work out. Now, what that is, if you have fats in your stomach, in your digestive system, or if you had a heavy meal, what's going to happen is the caffeine or whatever type of citrulline or beta alanine, whatever's in that pre-workout, the food's going to slow down the absorption. So you have to time it out. So you may take pre-workout. That's why you see a lot of people take pre-workout. They go to the gym. About 1 or 2 sets in, they got to run to the bathroom because that caffeine and pre-workout mixture on top of the pre-workout meal they had is not good. And it's messing up the absorption. So with Hercules Potion and ECA Stack Plus, with ECA Stack Plus is oral, but with Hercules Potion, you don't have to worry about anything in your stomach. I've taken Hercules Potion before a photo shoot first thing in the morning with nothing in my stomach, and I look pumped up like I had a huge carb meal. So the benefit with this would be if you're doing a bodybuilding show and your coach tells you, yeah, go carb up on pancakes or burgers and all this stuff, which I don't believe in. But if your coach is the type of coach that has you do that, I would take Hercules Potion because that way you could have half a banana and a couple eggs, just something to, so you don't get dizzy in your stomach. And then you could take Hercules Potion. So now you're filling up your body with the pump, but you're not filling up your stomach with the food. Big difference. A lot of people look great on stage, but their stomach's poked out. They look great because they carved up and did all this stuff, but their stomach's poked out. You don't want to have that turtle shell on stage where you're lean with abs and it's poked out. Now, Hercules Potion will definitely help with that. And again, it's systematic. So even though you inject one place, it's going to help your whole body, but just obviously hits that one part faster or a little bit more. I guess the second part of our Titan Trifecta therapy of the week we have this week. The last one is Titan Complete. Titan Complete is basically the closest thing I like to relate stuff to other stuff that people know about would be like a 1-a-day vitamin times 10. So you're going to get carnitine, you're going to get B12, you're going to get a lot of good vitamins. And Titan Complete is something that you would take every day, maybe like 1 ml a day or as directed, but you could take more. It's not a stimulant, so you don't have to worry about taking too much. We know where it's like caffeine. It's not going to mess with your hormones at all, where if you take, 3 or 4 mLs, where it's going to mace you up. It's basically just like taking more vitamins. So that's something that I use. I take 1 ml a day. It's kind of like a 1-a-day vitamin, Hercules and ECA and Titan Complete. So that's the Titan Trifecta. If you're interested in that, call 727-389-3220. You can get all 3. Normally it's $690 for those 3. Right now, $490. So you're saving $200, which is a big sale. So if you grab 2 of those, you'd be saving say if you get one for yourself, one for your friend, one for your wife, one for your husband, whatever, you could have end up saving $400 with both of those packages. Now, last thing I'll say about the Titan Trifecta is Titan Trifecta, these are something that you don't need blood work for. All 3 of these is just something that you simply just fill out a form, go through the proper procedures, but you don't need blood work for these. And this is something you could take more than once. So in other words, if you get Hercules Potion, you could order 2, you could order 3. You could order Titan Complete. You could order 2, 3, 4, 5. There isn't a regulation as far as I'm concerned to my knowledge. So you can get 2 or 3 of them. Now with hormones, testosterone, stuff that's actually blood work, that you're not going to be able to get 4 or 5 bottles of testosterone. But certain things here at Titan, I have people say it all the time. Yeah, well, they only gave me this. Ask. A lot of the stuff you can get more. A lot of the stuff is regulated too. You can't. And some things here at Titan Medical, you have to titrate up, meaning that, say for IGF-1 LR3, it's probably our strongest muscle building product that we have here at Titan. Now with IGF-1 LR3, that is something that you would probably take. You'd take at a lower dose, and then it would bring you up, and then bring you up. So there's like 3 levels to that. But a lot of our products, ECAA included, have different levels. With ECAA Plus, ECA Stack Plus, people sensitive to caffeine, let the medical providers know when you make the phone call, and they can take the caffeine out. So basically, like instead of ECA Stack Plus, it'll be EA Stack Plus. You'll still get the ephedrine, you'll still get the aspirin, the B12, the choline, or we could adjust it. Normal ECA is 200 milligrams of caffeine. That would be like your standard energy drink that you would see at like a store in a can. So if you're familiar with those energy drinks, one of these would be good for you. And again, if that's too much, we could bring that caffeine down to a 100. So just let them know what you need. If you need any of those products taken out, that's something that we compound. We don't compound, but we have it compounded so that at the pharmacy they could adjust it to how you need it. So that's it. Titan Trifecta, all three of those, save 200, call 727-389-3220, and we service nationwide, so we'll get it out to you. Let's go on some questions right now. We got Billy. What's the main difference between ECA Stack Plus and Hercules Potion? Good question. First thing is ECA Stack Plus is an oral. It's a capsule, so you just take one capsule before you need it. And Hercules Potion is an injectable. Hercules Potion is aminos. It's like an amino blend. You would spot inject directly into the muscle. And ECA Stack Plus is more for fat burning, energy, mental focus, and blood flow. So those are the difference between those two. And you could also take those two together. That's actually my ultimate Titan pre-workout that I've been using for a while now is Titan. I take Titan Complete first thing in the morning. So that's every day. But right before I go to the gym, I always have an ECA capsule. And I always have at least 2 mLs of Hercules Potion. Now, a Hercules Potion, it's a 30 ml bottle. So a lot of times people saying, man, it costs that much for that little bottle. It's 30 mLs. So if you guys are familiar with 10 ml or 10 cc bottles, you're getting 30 mLs, which is enough to take one a day for the whole month. What I like to do with Hercules Potion too is I don't use it every workout. So I may use it on like legs and back, or like if I have like an arm video I'm doing. So you could save a couple days and have a couple days more when you do use it. So, but it's a big bottle. It'll last. Next question. What's the myth about supplements that you want to debunk? See, I'm more of a food guy. I'm more of a Titan therapies and a food guy. In terms of actual supplements, a myth, I'd probably say that creatine monohydrate makes you hold water and it make you bloated, and it's bad for your kidneys or liver. I know a lot of times people take creatine, they take it as directed, which is like 1 scoop, 5 grams. You need a lot more than that. So I would say the biggest myth on creatine is it'll make you bloated, which isn't true. It'll make you gain fat, which isn't true. And the amount that people are taking is not anywhere near what it's supposed to be. I do 5 scoops in the morning, which is 25 grams. And I may do another scoop later on during the day, like in my juice or something like that. But here we go. Paxton, if someone can afford only one Titan therapy, which would you recommend? Well, that's a great question, Paxton. And also, I can't just answer that in one way. So when you come to Titan, you get your blood work done, we're going to go over everything that you need, everything you don't need, how we can fix your body and make it optimal. So if you were coming in, you get your blood work done, if your testosterone is like 100 or 200, which is severely low, then I would say, that's what I would go. I would go with HRT. So when you, as a man, a woman need HRT too in some cases, but as a man, if you come in and your testosterone is low, I wouldn't recommend anything else than getting testosterone replacement therapy and getting that fixed first. So first thing would be if your test is low, obviously testosterone replacement therapy. Now, if your testosterone and everything is regulated, if you're just asking for something that I feel, if you're looking for one product, and if you're looking for only be able to afford one product, now for weight loss, I would say retatrutide. And for a pump in the gym, I would say Hercules Potion. Now, I know I'm giving you more than one, but I'm giving you different reasons because everyone might have different reasons why they want that one. So weight loss, I would say retatrutide. For pre-workout, something you take before the gym, I would say ECA Stack Plus. For a pump, I would say Hercules Potion. But again, we want to keep people optimal here at Titan. We want you to be healthy. It's not about having muscles and looking like a fitness influencer or a bodybuilder. It's about being optimal. So once you get your blood work done, if you see those red or warning signs, correct that first before you start, having fun with the pump, Hercules Potion and all that stuff. So you always want to make sure you're right. So never, I would say, I'm glad you asked me, but I would say don't ask people that question, or actually, maybe not online. You're not going to do it live. Tell me how your blood work is. But if you speak to someone, they see your blood work, they could definitely make that adjustment for you. Alexa is saying, can stress really affect gains in fat loss? Absolutely. Stress, a lot of times when people are stressed, they don't sleep or they oversleep. Like they kind of like don't want to deal with life. So they just sleep all day, or they're just up and their mind's going crazy. So I know for me, when I'm stressed, I have a hard time sleeping. If I have a hard time sleeping, I have a very hard time maintaining weight. But some people are different. Some people will actually gain weight by lack of sleep and diet and all that. So stress can definitely affect, your cortisol levels will be off. Certain days when you look in the mirror and you say, I look great today. Other days you feel off. You're not sure why. Chances are it has something to do with your stress, your cortisol levels, or something you ate or drank. But stress can definitely affect gains and fat. Any type of progress in the gym, whether you want to gain weight, lose weight, it could definitely affect it. That's why a lot of bodybuilders, when they're getting ready for a competition, they don't necessarily go out. They don't necessarily get involved where there's a chance that they could be stressed. They just go to work, go to the gym, get their food, go home, just stay out of drama. That stuff makes a big difference. Billy, how important is sleep in a muscle building for fat loss? Exactly what I just said. Sleep is very important. If you don't sleep, you're not going to grow. It's kind of like, if you, it's kind of and the gas runs out, you're not going to go anywhere. So you may not be able to, you could not get any sleep for a few days or a week or whatever, but if it's long term, you're consistently not sleeping, it's extremely hard to build muscle or to burn fat, because your body's just going to be way off. The more higher protein, the more sleep, the fat will literally start coming off of you. So that's why you'll see people that work in the nightlife, or people that go out to the club all the time. Like, they're barely ever sleeping, they're barely ever eating, but they're just drinking alcohol, and their body is like going to crap. They have a big stomach, their arms are disappearing, or if it's the ladies, they have a big stomach and they're getting cellulite and all that, and they're barely ever sleeping, barely ever eating. Now if they ate more and slept more, the right foods, they could clean all that stuff up. What's your favorite go-to workout on a full body burn? I don't do full body workouts at all. I haven't done a full body workout since maybe my first 3 months. When I was first working out, like when I didn't know what I was doing, I would go to the gym and do full body. I would do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but that's been 20 years ago. So I don't do full body workouts. For what I do for myself, my body, it just doesn't work for me. I need to put more emphasis on one body part. But for anybody else, full body workouts are great. It just depends what your body can handle. It depends what your body's used to. Everyone's different. But I would suggest, if you're trying to build one muscle group or one muscle part, say arms, legs, back, if you're trying to build one muscle specifically, full body workouts is terrible. Jerry Curley, is fasted cardio actively effective for fat loss? I believe it is, but you don't want to be fasted. I don't believe in that intermittent fasting and all that. Don't eat for the whole day. And I don't believe in any of that stuff. But first thing in the morning, or whenever you wake up, I always say first thing in the morning, but it does depend your schedule. So if you've worked a graveyard shift, or pretty much whenever you wake up from your sleeping state, like you're not just an afternoon nap, like you're actually sleeping state, first thing you wake up, have some water or maybe like some green tea or coffee, and go do fasted. I would recommend walking on an incline as opposed to the stair machine, especially if you're fasted. If you're fasted, you don't want to be, on the stair machine, like where it's like hurting and burning, like I'm dizzy. I would just say a slow, steady walk on an incline. It's the best way to burn fat. For myself, for anybody else, it's the best way. People think they have to run, they have to do sit-ups. Clean up your diet and just walk on an incline, slow and steady. Lexi, what's the best way to break through muscle growth plateau? I would say make sure your diet's on point. A lot of times people go to the gym for 10, 15, 20 years. They've been lifting, doing all this stuff, but they haven't really changed their diet, or they haven't really changed their rest, something that someone just touched on. So if you've been working out for a long time, you want to go through a plateau, I would say the first thing is rest. I know it sounds off, we're gym people, we want to be in the gym every day. But when you rest, chair is stuck. When you rest, it gives your body the ability to be able to train harder and have a better workout. So I'd rather work out 3 times a week as opposed to 7 days a week like I used to, because that way those 3 days are more important. I can focus more on better rest periods. So I would say first way to break through a plateau is make sure you're resting enough. And also, if you've been working out for a long time, the first thing to do would be switch up your diet or add some Titan therapies in there depending on what you want to do. Joshua Fitness, how many rest days should you take per week for optimal recovery? Again, everyone's different. Some people only need 1. Some people may need 4. Depends what your body is. Depends how you recover. Depends what type of supplement you're taking. Depends if you're on HRT. So that makes a big, everyone's different. There's no set way. Otherwise, people would just Google search and everyone would look great. Any other questions? Got some good questions on today. On Facebook. Might be some... Got a question. I'm just trying to get to see who's. Here we go. Bry Guy says, "Do you train your calves high reps or just like any other muscle?" I've heard 2 different things. I train my calves crazily. People that train, that's probably one body part that's not really talked about that much. But when I train calves, it's just as serious as if I'm training legs or if I'm training back. I take it serious. I go deep. I found that the lower part of the calf movement targets the calf more, and studies have actually shown that. But I do all kinds of reps. I mean, I may do 500 reps. I may do 10 sets of 10. I may do, a lot of times when I start out with my calves, I'll just do like standing calf raises, like so I can get below parallel, like on a step. And I'll just start out with like 50, 60 straight just to burn my calves out before I even start stuff. So calves have to be pounded in order for them to grow. Just like Lee Haney says, you walk on your calves every single day since you're a little kid, so they're used to all that. You need to pound them more than any body part for it to grow. So deep stretching and high reps, heavy, and you could actually hit calves every day. People asked earlier about full body workouts and how many days a week. Calves is something I train every day or every time I'm in the gym. Even some days if I take off from the gym, I'll just be at the house or by the pool on the step, and I'll just keep doing calf raises. So. Also do front raises too. Put your heel up, heel here, so your heel's here. Normally you go into the calf, put your heel on the step and come up. So bring your toes up towards your shins. That's gonna put an inch on your calves quick, real quick. Any other questions? Rest days. Thank you. We got a lot of shout outs, a lot of compliments. What's your number 1 tip for staying consistent with fitness? My number 1 tip for staying consistent, do what works for you, even in terms of food. If I have chicken and broccoli, it messes my stomach and digestion up, so I do a steak. So just do what works for you, and stay. Number 1 tip to be consistent. See, when we're consistent, the number 1 tip I could say is, if you take 1 day off, it's like taking, whether it's diet or training, it could throw you back a week or a month. So, I mean, it's hard to have a tip for being consistent because consistent is like a mental state. But I would just say keep looking in the mirror and just keep doing what you're doing and do what works for you. Do what works for you. Everyone looks a certain way. People that have the body that they've always dreamed of, they worked hard for it. They know what it took to get there. Now, the one thing is when you're working out and you're doing this bodybuilding and fitness and trying to look in the mirror and, you want to be a muscle mommy or you just want to have a certain look to you, it gets boring, but hey, it works. Eat the same thing every day, work out, do the same thing every day. And a lot of people can't mentally focus to do that. But I noticed that people that are consistent, they eat all the time and work out all the time, they look the best. Don't change your food every day. Don't change your workout every day. Like just find something and just keep on doing it. What mental habits separate elite athletes from beginners? Good question. Mental habits to separate elite athletes from beginners. I would say the mental habits will be blocking out outside distractions. I know for bodybuilding, people get distracted. You'll be getting ready for a show. You'll have someone say, "Hey, next week my mom's having." I don't care. I got to train. So I would say certain things like that. Don't be afraid to tell people I can't go because I have to rest. Don't be afraid to tell people I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to diet. If people start fit shaming you, then don't hang out with those people. Hang out with people that are, if you want to be broke, hang out with broke people. If you want to be rich, hang out with rich people. So I would say mental habits, if you're starting to have bad mental habits, or it's probably from the outside influences, I would just say hang around more people that work out. I mean, I really only hang around with people that are into the gym or fitness people or people that know my lifestyle, because otherwise I don't want to explain myself every day why I'm eating this or why I don't do that. It gets annoying. So, yeah, birds of a feather. Thank you. Got a lot of compliments on here. I appreciate that. Your weekends. Appreciate it. No, I'm not. Someone said, thank you. I appreciate you're always right. Not always right. I do the best I can. Also, if I'm wrong, I want people to correct me. Like, correct me online. Like, correct me right now. So a lot of times, actually, I haven't really had too many people message me about false information. But again, if I say something that's off, or if I say something that you guys don't agree with, I like to hear that. I like to see that. I like to interact and know why. I mean, I don't know everything. I've been doing this a long time, but I don't know everything. So, but I appreciate the compliments. I'm going to jump into one of my topics for today. What are the 12 unhealthiest bottled drinks that you could buy? Now, I had different drinks. First, it was like energy drinks, but then it was like, everybody knows energy drinks is trash. And then it was like protein, but then I was like, it might as well just say don't buy bottled protein. So I wanted to just go off of the 12 unhealthiest bottled drinks. So these are stuff that people think are healthy. They're drinking it every single day, or even 2-3 times a day, and they're spending a ton of money on it. I mean, if you spend $2-3 on an energy drink every day, if you buy 2 of those, that's what, $5 a day, $150 a month you're spending on it. Trash. So, I mean, let me jump into this. 12 unhealthiest. I'm gonna start from the bottom. Number 12, Poppy. Poppi. Poppy. Now, I've seen these drinks even at the store around the corner from here. They have these drinks. It's a popular prebiotic soda. So they basically have this soda. It's carbonated. It's in a can. It's basically like, you drink this and it's going to help with your digestion and all this stuff, but it's trash. It says they have lawsuit claims over the very small amounts of prebiotic in each can of soda. So in other words, it doesn't even have all that. They may just sprinkle enough in there just to be able to add it to the ingredients. What's it else is? Yeah, it doesn't give too much info on this Poppy thing. But that was number 12. Number 11 is the Palm. These are the small apple juices, blueberry juice and apple juice in a funny bottle. Yeah, it says all the nutritional benefits are lost when this is turned into a juice, because they're using 100% pomegranate juice. Has been characteristically tart flavor. So basically it's like fake, and the process just destroys all the nutrients in it. Has lots of sugar, 68 grams of sugar in a 16-ounce bottle. So like a 16-ounce would be like your standard water bottle. 68, that's more than what's in a soda. And they're labeling it as, healthy and pomegranate and all this stuff juice. So yeah, that's trash. Palm is trash. Next one, Welch's grape juice. Like one of the oldest grape juice if you look at the container, it says 100% grape juice. They're trying to do all this stuff. It says no sugar added, so they're doing all the right things to get you to zoom in. So for the average person, when they see this, they're like, oh, 100%? No added sugar? I'm going to get it. But when you look at the back of the label, that's when the problem happens. It says that, let's see, 44 grams of sugar in a 10-ounce bottle. So that's like a little bottle, which has just as much soda as like, a can of soda. I mean, just as much sugar as a can of soda. Let's see. Yeah, just basically loaded with sugar. I mean, not too much info on this, but basically just says it's basically fake juice with coloring and a ton of sugar. So it says no added sugar on the front label, but again, it has more sugar per ounce than soda, which is bad. Next one. Now, this one kind of shocked me because I used to drink these a lot when I was growing up, and I didn't even really care about, being healthy. I was just drinking it for the flavor. But let me see. I just lost it. Arizona green tea. So green tea, I always talk about the benefits of green tea. A lot of my clients drink green tea, whether they're doing this in the sauna or just throughout the day. Now, green tea is actually good because it speeds your metabolism, helps you burn fat, curbs your appetite, helps with digestion, but that's actually from a bag organic green tea. Now, this Arizona green tea is even worse. 16-ounce bottle of green tea has 68 grams of sugar coming from honey cane, which is equal to 17 teaspoons. So if you could imagine 17 teaspoons, like say if you have a coffee and you have a teaspoon, and you put 17 of those in there, just because it's green tea. So again, and if you look at the consistency with all of these trash drinks, they all are, the reason why they're all so bad, it just says sugar. It'll just say sugar or basically it's loaded with sugar. So sugar alone and stuff will make it the most unhealthy drink. Arizona, that was that one. Next one, Yoo-Hoo. Now I used to drink Yoo-Hoos when I was a kid. It's almost like chocolate milk, but it's almost tastes like chocolate water. It's thinner. Now I know in bodybuilding, some people use these to add calories to their protein shakes. They'll put scoops of protein with this, but then again, that's just, you're adding more crap to your diet. A Yahoo energy drinks, 115 ounce, has 220 calories, which are mostly from carbs, 51 grams of carbs, and 47 grams of sugar. So you're basically getting 220 calories, and it's almost straight carbs and straight sugar. There's only 3 grams of protein, 2 grams of fat, and this is in Yoo-Hoo. So again, trash, and it's because of the sugar. I haven't seen anything bad in any of these drinks so far other than sugar and, the process which destroys the nutrients. So pretty much all these are bad because of sugar. So next week, I know John talked about it a few weeks back, but next week I might even actually go on and talk about sugar, how bad sugar is, because it's like all this stuff, the only reason I see that's bad is sugar. Number 7, Sunny D. Now Sunny D, it's like a different taste. I used to drink it as a kid. It's got that thickness taste to it, but it just tastes real acidic. Now, it doesn't taste like orange juice at all. It does taste orange, but it doesn't taste like orange juice. So this isn't a surprise to me. To me, when I drink it, it just tastes like chemicals. It tastes like orange dish soap or something like that. So, but with Sunny D, it is a blend of concentrated juices, orange, apple, lime, grapefruit, and pear. The label says that the juice makes up than 2% of the juice makes up less than 2% of the ingredients. So less than 2% of the juice in here is the ingredients. There are also tons of other ingredients listed on the label, which some are unnecessary, like fruit juice, canola oil, cornstarch, very bad. So this one, not only is it bad with the sugar, it's bad because it only has 2% juice, has cornstarch and canola oil. Canola oil is one of the worst type of oils you could have. Everyone knows, those type of oils, seed oils are bad. High fructose corn syrup, 14 grams of sugar per 8 ounces. So again, a standard 16 ounce is going to have almost half the sugar as a soda. It's got a lot of high fructose corn syrup, and this is, we're talking about Sunny D. Yeah, so Sunny D, again, another one is bad. Next one up. Now, this is probably going to shock a lot of people. It doesn't shock me because I just know how companies work, but this is like the old school healthy juice, V8. Now, V8, I remember when I was a kid, it tasted so bad. Like I remember just, it tasted bad. It used to come in a can, and it was just terrible. It tasted like straight tomato juice. It had no type of sweetness to it. But so people think it's just, yeah, it's healthy. It's tomato juice. Well, tomatoes are fruit, but yeah, it's healthy. No, not at all. V8 is made with 100% vegetable juice, primarily tomato juice, along with carrots, celery, beets, and other natural ingredients. Drinking this juice, vegetables different. Let me see. Let me get the details. Another thing to pay attention to go with this V8 is the amount of sodium. There's 640 milligrams per 8-ounce serving. So if you have a 16 ounce, which is a standard water bottle, of V8, you're looking at over 1,000 milligrams of soda. So we're talking like, we're getting up near like ramen noodle type sodium levels, which is terrible. So again, loaded with sodium, trash, and they're selling it. They're trying to promote it like, it's healthy, and they have vegetables on the front. They have celery, and it's just bad. Always turn the label around. Like I never look at the front label. I look at the back. I look at the ingredients first, and then I look at the macros. Sometimes you look at the macros will be good, like, the fat, sodium. You look at all that, it'll be good. But then you look at the ingredients, and it's a whole bunch of chemicals and fake stuff. So you want to look at the ingredients first, then go back and look at your macros. Snapple peach tea is number 5. And again, I'm assuming, here we go with the sugar. Now, I brought this list up to talk about with you guys and girls live, so I haven't really read through. Sometimes I'll go through the topic and I'll analyze it and I'll study it to have the info for you. But I'm kind of, I saw this would be good. I'm kind of watching it with everybody, just to, reading it with everybody, just to, like, it's kind of like a reveal. You're getting my reaction to reading all this crap. Black tea, which is the Snapple peach tea. Black tea is supposed to be good for you. It is good for you if it's straight black tea, but this has 40 grams of sugar. Once again, it's because of the sugar. Yeah, this one, basically, it just says sugar. So sugar is the only reason that I've seen so far on this that makes it bad. I don't see anything about coloring, or I don't see anything about chemicals, but I do see a lot of sugar. So again, sugar, 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 sugar. All these drinks, the number one thing they said was sugar. Number 4, Pepsi. Everyone knows what Pepsi is. Pepsi has 69 grams of sugar for a 20-ounce bottle. Again, sugar. Yeah, and then it's just giving some descriptions as of what having sugar do. Bad bacteria, they love sugar. So if you have sugar in your body, bad bacteria is in and all that stuff. But Pepsi is number 4 on the list of most unhealthiest drinks. Again, because the sugar. Now we're going to go up to number 3, Mountain Dew. Now that's not a shock to me because, they got some bad stuff in Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew, that's like, it's got canola oil, vegetable oil, yellow number 5. The sugar content is very, very high. It's got dyes in it. It's just terrible. It's got additives, dyes, everything. Like literally everything across the board you could have to be unhealthy. Bad oils, chemicals, dye, sugar, corn syrup. Yeah, it's bad. It doesn't give anything about the grams of sugar per, but I'm assuming it's pretty much similar to Pepsi. But again, Mountain Dew and Pepsi, those are like one of the most popular sodas that you see them everywhere. Those most unhealthiest drinks. Next one up, number 2, Naked. Naked drinks. Now this shocked me because I stopped drinking these probably 4 or 5 years ago, or maybe like 3 years ago. But I used to pound these every day. Like if I'm busy, if I'm going to an expo, if I have a show, if I'm doing a live, there's a store right here by the office, and I'll just go in there and grab one just to hold me down. And if you look at the ingredients, it'll say apples, oranges, but it's trash. Now, when I drink this, it tastes like it's bad for me, but for some reason, it's just like, oh yeah, they sold it to me, so they got me for plenty of years. A 15-ounce bottle of Mighty Mango flavor contains juice from mangoes. Let me see. Here we go. 57 grams of sugar, 68 carbs, and 290 calories. 290 calories. So say if this is like your go-to drink, say if you drink 2 or 3 a day. 3 of these a day, you're almost you're at 900, almost 900 calories, just drinking these without even having any food. So, that's pretty bad. Now they will put a whole mango or a whole apple in there, but the other stuff that it's high volumes of high fructose corn syrup is never a good thing. I feel like they can make this better. Now what I do now instead of buying these now, I just buy frozen fruit, or I'll just buy fruit and just throw it in the blender. Put fruit in the blender with some water, and that's pretty much all you need. You're getting, like, in other words, you could look at this ingredient and say, oh, it has 1 1/4 mangoes, 1 apple, and half orange, half banana. Okay, well, I'm going to the store and just get all that, throw it in the blender with some water, and drink it. Now I know it's real. So again, Naked is number 2 on the list. Number 1, this comes as no surprise, Monster Energy Drink. Monster Energy Drink is number 1 on the list for the most unhealthiest drinks that you could drink from the store. So pretty much you go in any gas station, grocery store, corner store, I know gyms, this is the worst drink that you could have. See, it says that they're sneaky because they have so many vitamins, it tricks people into thinking it's good, but 72 grams of carbs and 66 grams of sugar. To put that into perspective, 26% of your daily recommended amount of carbohydrates for someone on a 2,000 calorie diet. So in other words, if you drink just 2 of these a day, you're already half what you should have carbs for the whole day. You haven't even consumed any food yet. So again, once again, high sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and high carbs. So it's a recurring thing where every single one of these 12 unhealthiest bottled drinks you could buy from the store, every single one of them, the number one thing that made them unhealthy was sugar. Sugar, sugar, sugar. So as you can see, sugar is the devil. Sugar is very, very bad. The older I get, the less sugar I have. Now, a lot of times people they say they need sugar. Oh, my blood sugar is low or this and that. If you're a diabetic or for medical reasons or whatever and you need sugar, great. But I would recommend honey. I would recommend even sugar cane. But again, if you're looking for an edge or if you're looking for some type of sweetener and you have any of these drinks in this list, I would just suggest make your own. And again, use fruit, use a little bit of honey, maybe some pink salt if you need it for cellular hydrations and stuff like that so you don't cramp. But make your own. It's cheaper. It's going to be less taxing on your system, and the sugar is just really, really bad. So anybody's thoughts about these, anybody watching that drinks these on a regular basis? Again, out of all these drinks, the only ones I used to drink, I drank a lot of Arizona teas when I was in high school, just because I used to hang out at the store and they had the dollar, the big dollar can ones. And then after that, I was on my Mountain Dew phase for a little bit. And then once I got into the gym, I was on those naked drinks. But I gave up all that stuff. Only thing I drink right now is pretty much water, homemade juice from fruit juices, or every once in a while I'll have some type of tea or something like that. But even if I have like a supposed healthy drink, it doesn't sit right. So Lily says she loves green tea, fat burner. Hey, yeah, Lily too. You know what's great about green tea is if you go to the gym, if you do cardio or if you're trying to burn fat or whatever, if you just work out and then as soon as you're done with your workout, take your hot tea in a thermos while your heart rate's up, while you're still breathing heavy, and just walk into the sauna with your heart rate out of breath and just sit there. Sip that green tea and let your fat will melt off you. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, you could take an ECA cap. I used to do that. I used to take, last show I did, I would work out without any ECA. And then right when I was doing my cardio, like I would take an ECA, and once it kicks in and I'm hot and sweaty, I would literally run to the sauna and I would just sit there with a hoodie on and I would sip green tea. And you could just see it, like it would just, so that's like a hack I like to do. I don't like to do any cardio. I don't like to move at all. I like to sit in the sauna with the green tea, but green tea works great. Coffee works good too, but it messes with people's stomach. And if you don't like green tea, just sip hot water in the sauna. I mean, it sounds crazy. You're gonna be hot, you're gonna be sweaty, but it's a lot better than going on a treadmill in the freezing cold and going for an hour to work up a sweat when you could just sit there for 10 minutes and let the sauna do it for you. All right. Got any Titan events coming up? If I see any other questions on the screen, I'll get to those. But right now, I'm going to jump into some of these Titans events. Jamel is saying, what are your top foods you recommend for clean bulking? Find a meat that works for you, whether it's chicken, steak, salmon, whatever, and then do that. And then find a carb, whether it's sweet potatoes, rice, oatmeal, cream of rice, whatever, do that. Then just drink a lot of water. I mean, it's not really hard to clean bulk. You just need to make sure you're getting your calories. I would say keep your sugar low. Definitely keep your sugar low. A lot of time people are bulking, they automatically think sugar, like, because, the calories and all this, but try to keep your sugar low even though you're bulking. Just look more so for calories and carbs. Every time you eat something, let's look at the label, make sure the carbs and calories are high. Thank you. A lot of compliments on here. I appreciate it. Now, Titan events, we got the Tampa Pro coming up July 31st to August 2nd. I believe it's like 9 weeks. So it's coming up quick. That's at the Grand Hyatt Bayport in Tampa, Florida. Tim Gardner's show. Shout out to Tim. It's the same venue as it was last year. So anybody who came last year, you know exactly where the gym is at. And again, that's July 31st to August 2nd. After that, we have the Hurricane Pro, another Titan Medical event. Now, Titan Medical is the official sponsor of both of these events. The Hurricane Pro is, let me see, we'll just switch this over, October 17th to 18th, and that's in St. Petersburg, Florida. And again, that's at the Coliseum, I believe, one of my favorite venues, just over the bridge, not too far from Tampa. So St. Pete is where it's at for the Hurricane Pro. Tampa is where it's at for the Tampa Pro. We are the official sponsor of the Tampa Pro. I know last year and the year before we gave out some free B12 and amino shots. I think we might do that this year, but I'll let you know 100% next week. So if you want an amino shot, chances are you can get one. You just come by the booth and fill out a form. But yeah, it's going to be a good one, Tampa Pro. I'm excited. They're bringing back female bodybuilding this year, which is very exciting for me. I know they got rid of it. But yeah, it's always a great show. It's a 2-day show, 3-day show. It's NPC, which is amateur, and IFBB, which is pro. So you can see the amateurs and the pro. If you check the website, timgardnerproductions.com, you can see all the schedule, different days. Just make sure whoever you're going to see, that's their day. Every year I hear about someone going on a Friday, buying a ticket, and the person they wanted to see was on Saturday. So just check the schedule, make sure you're good. That's the Tampa Pro, about 8.5 weeks away, I believe. It's going to be a good one. That's pretty much it for this week with Titan Medical, Titan Lifestyle. I do this every week at 2 p.m. Great questions today, girls and guys. Great engagement. That's what I like. Get your questions ready. If I missed anybody, just tune in next week, 2 p.m. Check out on YouTube. Hit the bell so you're notified of videos like this. Check me out on the podcast, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.